Salute, and welcome. Welcome back to the Black Ocean. Now swimming in the deep end with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have to talk about this. This is the last stand of the Democrat Shill. Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to enjoy doing this broadcast here tonight. I hope all of you are doing well. I hope everyone is in good spirits, good health. I hope all of your families are doing great. I definitely am, because, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very wonderful time to be a foundational Black American freedman. Because, family, let me tell you something. I don't know about the rest of you, but I am beyond proud of those of us that are on code for the awareness and the actions that we are taking as far as our own empowerment and making sure that we do what we need to do to put ourselves first instead of being subservient to other groups. I'm so proud of foundational Black American freedmen for finally respecting ourselves and letting people know that, particularly when it comes to politics, voting is a business transaction. If you don't work for free, then you damn sure should not vote for free. No other group does that. So I just wanted to get that off my chest at the outset of this broadcast. Let me tell y'all something, family. First and foremost, can everyone hear me loud and clear as I'm speaking over here tonight? Give me a black fist in the chat room if everybody can hear me loud and clear. Give me a black fist in the chat room if everybody can hear the sound of my voice loud and clear, no skips. If it's the volume too low, whatever the case may be, we will get that straightened out right away if everyone cannot hear. Because PukeTube probably will mess with this broadcast, and I expect that. Because when we're talking common sense, when we're not cooning and buffooning, we're not doing the, what's the tea? When we're not sitting here gossiping about other people and all of their salacious business, a lot of that nonsense is going on. Let me tell y'all something, family. PukeTube, if you doing that kind of stuff, perfect broadcast, no problems, okay? But when you're trying to educate your people and trying to make sure that they stay in an empowered position and be ready for a lot of things to come that specifically could affect us, oh, then it's time to, start messing with the stream and all of that. Let me tell y'all something, man. Before we get into the onset of what we're going to discuss here tonight, I've said this, if you've been following me on X or any platform, family, there are things that are coming down the pipeline that's going to affect this entire country. And historically, being that our situation and socioeconomically and across the board, a lot of that, it affects us in a very detrimental way if we haven't done our due diligence to prepare ahead of time. See, anything can hit somebody that's unforeseen occurrence. But when you're getting information that people are trying to warn you about certain things, it's up to you to take that information and act on it, okay? Information does you no good if you don't act on it. I'm going to encourage you to do this because this is what I'm doing. All that other nonsense that people got going on in these different social media spaces, you better stay focused on what's going to be best for you and your family. If you ain't got nothing to do with none of that nonsense, I'm telling you now, don't get caught up in that. Because, see, again, no disrespect to the people that do the celebrity gossip and all this other kind of stupid stuff, or even not even just celebrity gossip, period. You have to be a particular type of individual for that to catch your eye. This is why you'll never really see me do that kind of stuff on this channel. Unless I critique something, there's a lesson involved. Y'all know how I am. But, you have to be a particular type of individual that, I got to say it, you're stuck in a state of arrested development like a big overgrown child. So, we got serious grown people business to take care of that. If that's your mindset, I'm telling you now, you're going to fare very badly in the onset in the coming months of things that we're going to have to deal with here in this country. Okay, so I'm just letting you know, going on this channel right here, you tired of the BS and all the stupid stuff, come on over here. We're going to deal with things that you can use to solve problems. We're not going to sit and play fantasy world, you know what I'm saying, types of scenarios and goofy stuff like that. Now we gonna deal with things, getting you accurate information that you can use it if you choose to, so that way you can deal with a lot of things that we're gonna have to face here as a community and as a people. Okay. Now that I got that out the way, a lot of you have been wondering when I was gonna speak on this situation with Jason the Shill Johnson. Okay, Jason the Shill Johnson. All right. For those of you that don't know who Jason Johnson is, oh man. You gonna get an education on him tonight, boy, because he's a sassy little dude. Okay, he has some choice words about foundational Black American freedmen and particularly Black American men. Oh, Jason Johnson. Oh, we got some choice words for you too, little buddy. Oh yeah, we gonna get to that, family. So now that you know what the broadcast is tonight, before we begin, I want to study something that comes to us courtesy of our good brother Philip Scott here. He found this video, want to give him his proper credit on it. And I want you to check this out as we start here tonight so that you can see the type of people that the Jason Johnsons and the Roland Martins, etc., the Shill type of people, the Boule, a lot of them are. I want you to watch this. And before we get into the main part of this, it's going to make a lot of sense why I chose to play that at the beginning. So before we do that, though, I must scroll up as always and greet my esteemed guests. Let me see who we have joining us. Make sure I have this pulled up. I see Derek Parker in the building. Lee Holmes is joining us. V. Mosby, what's going on, sister? Sister Stun Zed. Patricia Jenkins is over here. I see Patricia Slater here. The two Patricias. Oh, hey, man, two Patricias are better than one. That's what I'm talking about. Live in the chat room. That's what I'm talking about. My good brother, Project Leroy on Ranch Duty over here. I see you. Diesel Mike on the highways and byways out there. What's going on, my brother? Mungo Slade in the building. Jason Ferreira, I see you. Let's see. I see Sherm X69X. What's going on? Shirara's World. Okay, that's what's happening. Hey, she's got the maroon flag for her icon there. That's what I'm talking about. Right spirit to have. Let's see. Derico81. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Okay, I see David Boyd joining us, a Goddess Navy. I see you, sister. Demetrius Shepard is in here, ATLN_007. I see Seven Scales in the building. What's going on, brother? Rashawn Graham is in here. Let's see, I see the young brother Josh Norris, still Kevin Trees over here. What's going on? Salute to you, Mrs. L, and your husband. What's going on? Blessings to your family. Quincy Ace is in the building. D. Foster, salute, and welcome to everyone that will be joining us in attendance here tonight. And hey, listen, that's another thing too. Family, y'all not gonna believe this, but I just, I'm not gonna even call people's names about certain stupid stuff. I'm just gonna make this statement. Some people, and maybe y'all have seen it, but if you do, don't even acknowledge them. Some people actually have a issue with me acknowledging y'all like that when I start my broadcast. Some people, I ain't giving the trolls no attention. Cause, hey, look, if you're a troll looking to feed off attention from me, you can starve to death. I'm telling you, boy, you'll be just like them little roaches. Y'all ever seen the roaches that they can't find and eat? They'll flip upside down and starve to death. You know what I'm saying? You see them in people's homes, okay? That's how you're gonna be. But let me say this. I greet my audience because these people have been rocking with this channel for years. They are some of the best supporters, period, online, okay? Some of them have met me. Some of them I've worked with offline and online to do certain things. I appreciate my folks. You damn right I'm going to acknowledge them. You damn right I will continue to list their names on the community tab. They contribute to this channel. And I give them the option to stay anonymous too. They can do that as well. But I'm not the type of content creator that thinks I'm above my people. I'm with my people. Big difference. We in this together. We learn together. I may have a little bit more information than the average person, but that doesn't mean I know everything, okay? So to those that may concern, I'm going to tell you like this in the simplest of terms. You do you with your platform, and I'm going to do me with my platform, okay? Now, since this is a Black Ocean over here, and forgive me for the delay, ladies and gentlemen that heard the statement I just made, are you all okay with me choosing that course of action paying subscribers to this channel. I just want to see, because see now, if you all are not okay with that, hey, we can make some changes. But you all support this platform, okay? So is everybody okay with what you just heard there? Because look, for those that have an issue with it, I want you to look at my chat room and see whether the people are okay with what I just said or whether they have an issue with it. Sound off in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen. Are you okay with what I just said, that statement? I'm looking. I want to see. I'm going to wait a second. Y'all let them know. Let them know. Okay, I'm seeing some people say we good. Lee Holmes, double 100. Demetrius Shepard said to the fullest. At V Mosby, I have no issues. Oh yeah, light it up. Let them see that. The people that's over here, they're signing off on whether they're satisfied with how this platform runs or not. So that way, when they look in the chat room and they hear this part of the broadcast, they can look in here and see how many people. Okay. Yeah, and I see my good brother, hey, look, watch this. My good brother Leroy Brown said, I don't know what is being asked, but he says he's all in. So I repeat it again. I was saying Leroy Brown, because you probably just joined us. I was asking people if they're okay with me acknowledging them at the start of the broadcast, acknowledging them for their contributions to the channel and support and that things of that nature, and, you know, if they're okay with it or not. So see, look at my chat room. The people have spoken, okay? And the people's voices do matter over here, because if I'm going to use this microphone to speak for my people, then I'm going to listen to my people. Look, that's a part of the issue that we're going to examine here tonight. You got a lot of people, okay, as far as the Democrat shills, you want to speak for our people, but you won't listen to our people. See, what I'm saying, I'm speaking for the people that may not have a platform, may not have the time to do this, may not have all the right information. So I'm speaking for my people because I'm with my people. And there you have it. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started on our lesson here tonight. I'm going to play this. And again, these are the type of people that these shills that we're dealing with today, these were some of the grandparents that we got to look at here. Let's get started.
You know, there was an interesting video that I seen, you know, back from the 1960s. It was out of Los Angeles. And they was having a meeting with black folks about black people coming from the South and moving to LA. And these particular black people was threatened by black people from the South coming to LA. But I want you to hear how they're actually talking about fellow black American brothers and sisters trying to come to LA for a different opportunity. Let's roll that.
Los Angeles a month. By 1970, there'll probably be 1 million Negroes in this city. And I know that people are concerned about this. They may not talk about it very often, but I certainly heard them shudder in church when he said there'd be 1 million Negroes in Los Angeles.
We shudder because we're saying, in essence, the majority of these people are not like we are. And we felt that maybe some of us felt we left the South because we were getting away from this problem. We are part of this exodus too, but we are a little maybe embarrassed by the fact that here we're going to have a mass element come in that's going to create a tremendous social problem in the community, to which we find a great deal of difficulty in relating to.
Well, I don't want to sound like a do-gooder, because I really am not, and I'm somewhat of a snob. But I do think that with these people coming in who are not our intellectual equals, nor are they of our sociological bracket, they're not to be a handicap to us. They'll find their own level. Now, I do sound like a snob, but I don't mean it this way. But they're used to living a certain way, and they too might rise up above their origin, and might one day be our associates.
The whole tone of this meeting is we're setting ourselves up as little puppet Jesuses. We can't help anyone else until we help ourselves. The Negro has had 2 professions, his own medicine, dentistry, law, or psychiatry, and he's had the profession of being a Negro. And many of us have come out here to escape from this second profession of being a Negro. And we are out here a while, and we're working in our own field, and then we find out that here these same problems are falling on the heels of 1,600 Negroes a month that come into Los Angeles. Now this gives us problems. It's our own you. It's our own identifying with these Negroes that are coming in with their carpetbags that causes us problems.
This is a basic embarrassment that we as Negroes have. We want to live together, yet we want to sort of scatter to the far winds and live amongst white people.
Now, you hear that, most people say, oh, boy, they was real uppity, weren't they? They thought they were so much better than our brothers and sisters that came from the South that was really going through, you know, a whole lot of things, and they wanted to go to L.A. because they wanted some different opportunities. Some of you who are in L.A. right now, who's still there, who didn't leave, because, you know, hey, a lot of black folks are leaving, you know, California, and rightfully so, because Democrat policies, how they weaponize, you know, immigration against black folks. They brought in a bunch of hostile people coming from across that border, attacking black folks, doing all kinds of things to black people. That's why a lot of black folks went to, you know, Las Vegas, so they could, you know, still have a close proximity to California, but don't be too far away from it. Some of them went to, you know, came down to Texas. Some went to Atlanta. Some went to Chicago. Many, they just, you know, a lot of black folks are leaving that place in droves because it's not really, you know, too great for our people. But
so now let me pause it right here while our good brother Philip Scott is speaking. And again, salute to the brother over there. If you're not subscribed to this particular channel, it's the Black Congregation channel. It's one of his many channels. Go and subscribe to that. Lots of good information over there. As always with the good brother Philip Scott. Now, I want to take the time to address some of what the good brother's saying here, okay? Now, we know that this doesn't apply to every single person, but I'm showing you this footage that he found here because these types of folks right here, they're the ones that think they're head and shoulders above other black people if they happen to get certain jobs, okay? If they're a part of certain fraternities and sororities or things of that nature, you know, if they rubbed elbows with them folks, a lot of times they tend to look down their nose at people. Oh, and don't let them have no type of degree or title in front of their name. They think they're better than the average black person when in the system of white supremacy, we all know that it doesn't matter whether you're a multi-millionaire or billionaire or the poorest of the poor. To them folks, they're going to treat you like what they call us here, the N-word, okay? That's what they're going to do. So see, the smart people amongst us, the intelligent people, we know not to get caught into the so-called classism amongst us because I've said it many times over here. Y'all can bear me witness on this. I'm a blessed man. All praise to the Most High for that. But I know they could stroke a pen and take everything I have tomorrow, okay? I could be saying that now and wake up in the morning and they could, I'm white and I say so with all of us. And that thought right there scares a lot of these uppity types, like Brother Philip Scott was saying back then, because see, a lot of them, I guarantee a lot of them are Boule members, okay? I'm telling you, this is how they talk. So when the Roland Martins and the rest of them are looking at us, this is how they think, okay? And yet have the nerve to want to speak for people that they look down upon. Now, let me say this also. Y'all have heard me make this statement many a time about a lot of people that will come to my city, in particular, Atlanta. Lord knows, boy, everybody got a one-time at band camp story about Atlanta. A lot of times they will say something exaggerated or make things up. This is why a lot of times those of us in the South tell folks that, listen, where you come from, that's the type of attitude you have, fine. You can have that attitude, but you're going to have a hard time here. We're not going to do things your way. You're not going to take your ways and turn this place into where you came from because you left that place for a reason, okay? When in Rome, you do as the Romans do, or you can pack up and leave. I'm going to tell you right now. For those of you that are not familiar with the group Goody Mob, they had a song about that called Fly Away. Go listen to that song. It'll give you all the education you need about those of us here in the South. See, a lot of people that come, and again, not all, but a lot of people that come from northern areas or western areas or whatever, and this goes back to, you see this footage during this time here, it's like it was probably in the early 60s, something like that. They tend to have the attitude where they think that they're so much more intelligent than black folks down here in the South because we speak with a slower cadence to our tone or what have you. We have relaxed slang or dialect, but we can speak proper English and, you know, talk to the upper collegiate levels or the everyday common vernacular of the average person. Let me tell those of you that think like that today, that Boule crowd, that Roland Martin crowd, we got a lot more sense than you think. See, one of the things about brothers and sisters down in the South, just because we don't say something about stuff all the time doesn't mean we don't catch it. Oh, you better know that just because we don't say about certain things and run our mouths, because this is one of the difference between us and other people, okay? We sit back and observe. And a lot of times with a Southern person, a Southern Black American person to be specific, a lot of times what we're thinking, we'll be like, you know what, this fool really think that I don't see when they're being passive aggressively disrespectful, because we're laughing our head like, okay, you gonna go too far in a minute here. We just be sitting here, you know, listen to my fellow Southerners. I know that y'all don't want me to tell them. They be like, man, don't be telling, because we be like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Because we laugh at you. We be like, because once you go too far with certain things, well, we'll give you a lesson here about, you know, Southern hospitality turning into Southern correction. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you get you some good old-fashioned Southern correction, you ain't going to never forget that. So I just want to take the time to get that off my chest. Once y'all listen to the rest of what the good brother Philip Scott has to say here on this particular issue, let's let it continue.
But at that time period, you know, you did have more Black people before they brought in all these hostile migrants and immigrants that's coming across. And they were ashamed for them to even come over. They did, it's like, ooh, I don't want them to even be talking to me type of deal. Or they gonna mess up what we got going on out here. Just being a bunch of uppity Black folk. And the thing is, you feel you so uppity in a system that if those folks didn't fight, you wouldn't even have the little bit you had even in the 60s. You know, because I told y'all there are people that don't want to be around Black folks like that. They feel like the folks feel. And I told you there are some Black folks that want the status quo to continue to go. That's why I say the Boule. All of them sound like the Boule, really. The way they talking, you look at the way they look, you know, they look like some of them probably were part of Blue Vein Society type of people. If you look at that footage, they didn't have that normal look that brothers and sisters would have, right? They got that other look. You understand? The same thing we got today, the Boule members. If you look at them, you can kind of tell. Just look at them. Look at how they present themselves. Look at their hair. Look, I mean, you can literally see it on them. They don't fit in with the rest of us. They don't. So I've always said that, you know, people like that, the Boule and the Black preachers are part of Boule, and all them kind of people like that, they depend on the status quo of keeping us down so they can get a paycheck. And that is one of the most wicked thing ever, is what they do. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wanted y'all to see this part of Black American history and what we have been dealing with from then to now. So when you talk about people like the Black politicians, people like Boule Martin, that's the people that the same ideals right there. Just like he don't like us and the rest of them don't like us. They don't like the grassroots, but how they got even where they was at back then and even definitely today because of the grassroots. Boule does not fight for freedom. Boule don't even want to fight for reparations. They don't want to mention reparations because that's going to make Massa upset. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they be the main one telling the grassroots, you ain't getting no reparations, so stop asking for it. Because they getting they check from Massa, understand? So yeah, them kind of people make me sick, man. I can't stand them kind of Black people. I'd rather not even engage with them. Listen, I've seen more genuine white people than them kind of Black folks. I can't stand them kind of Black people.
And there you have it. I couldn't have put it better myself. And salute to your husband there, Mrs. L. Salute to Mr. L. Because, hey, that's one thing about it, man. Listen, as Southern Black American people, we are some of the most genuine, loving people you will ever want to meet, man. But you're not going to disrespect us, okay? You're not. Because, see, with the way a lot of us were raised, especially those of us that come from good families, okay? When I say good, I'm not talking about monetary status. I'm talking about the morals and values, okay, that are down here in the South. And I'm not going to say that it doesn't exist in other parts of the nation. Not saying that. But I'm talking about this region in particular. we were taught that everybody, yes, was put here to be used, but nobody was put here to be misused. And see, something's got to be wrong with you if you come amongst a group of people in general that will give you the shirt off their back, and then you want to come down here, especially when you didn't get that kind of treatment where you from, and then you want to come out here and disrespect the people once we feed you, get you up on your feet, help you get opportunities, connect you with folks, and you living much better than where you were from. Something's really wrong with you. We don't need those types of black people amongst us anywhere where you go in the country. We try to lead with respect, but when that respect starts turning the opposite to disrespect, you gonna get checked, okay? So yeah, like I said, don't listen to me. Come on down here. We'll educate you, okay? Or edumacate you. That's right, okay? We ain't gonna say educate. We'll edumacate you, boy. Come on down here. Hey, listen, you know what? To be honest with you, that statement that Phil said, that there's some more genuine white people than those, I can't argue with him on that. The white people that do have some sense down here, hey, you know, they'll look at you crazy. You come out here acting like that. For those of them that are not, few and far in between, but they do exist. So I will acknowledge that. Yes, you know, they carry themselves like they got some sense. You do have white people in the South that just get up, go to work every day, pay their bills, and you know, they can't stand being around white supremacists and people like that because, you know, not all of them are white supremacists. I know that's hard to believe, especially down in the South, but you do have a few here or there that they don't want nothing to do with that. Okay, so that is very true. Now, we're going to get to what everybody came here for. Oh, we finna deal with this issue with Mr. Jason Johnson, the Democrat Shill, because see, let's be clear, because I'm going to get on some more Mammy Sanders over here too tonight, the big boulder-shouldered linebacker, and y'all know, he said boulder shoulders. Yes, I sure did, because listen, let me tell you something. I know a lot of people don't like it when I call names and I unleash my petty, but I must unleash it because, see, petty, for ladies and gentlemen that don't know this fact about petty, if you don't unleash the petty, it builds up and it turns to toxicity. Now, you all wouldn't want your good brother to turn toxic, would you? Let's release the petty because Simone de Mammy Sanders, you don't care what anybody says. Marvel Cinematic Universe, if you are listening, the next time that you cast the Juggernaut in a Marvel Cinematic Universe, you need to go and give Simone Big Bones Sanders a call because she will be an excellent Juggernaut. She has the head and the shoulders to match. Okay, Sam, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm just saying, family, y'all know that you could stop. Look at her and tell me she wouldn't be a good Juggernaut in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm going to leave it alone, man. We going to get serious here. We got to listen to what Mr. Jason Johnson had to say, though, because a lot of people wondering if I was going to speak on this. Yes, I am, because I've been working on a lot of different things, and for those that don't understand, and you know, the Alabasters over there are hot at that Children of the Chalk series. Don't worry, I'm gonna get you. Cause see, I told you to leave this channel on, so we got some more Children of the Chalk coming too. I think we're gonna do that on Mondays. That's probably gonna be the day where I hit y'all with new Children of the Chalk, because we got so much more to talk about with them. So they want to try to get my attention during Black History Month. Okay, yeah, you got it. Ain't no telling when it's gonna end. Okay, that's gonna be indefinite. Anyway, we're going to get started analyzing this Jason Johnson stuff, okay? Because, see, it's a lot to cover here, and I got some thoughts on it that a lot of people might not have had, okay? You know how I am with it. You know, I usually tend to, you know, leave things alone if I feel that the point has been driven home on a particular issue. But if I feel like certain things need to be added, that's what I have my platform over here for. So I'm going to play this, ladies and gentlemen, and you tell me if you agree or disagree with some of what you're about to hear. Let it play.
Oh, yeah, this conversation's already started. Joining the table now is Dr. Jason Johnson. He's professor of politics and journalism at Morgan State University and the host of the Slate podcast, A Word. Welcome, my brother. You have a word for us this morning. So I just want to just put in the middle of the table here. It's like a big croissant, right? All flaky and ready to talk about, because when you bite into it, it is nasty as hell. And that's what we heard from Donald Trump in South Carolina. What was your reaction to this conversation in front of a room of African Americans in which he, in my estimation, sounded ignorant.
He doesn't sound ignorant. He sounds like Trump. This is the same guy he's been for the last 25 or 30 years. This is the same guy. I mean, he just emasculated Tim Scott earlier this week.
Yes.
And basically said, you've been bojangling and dancing for me for weeks. You did a better job talking about me than you. So why are we surprised that he gets in front of a room of black people and treats them like idiots, treats them like they are lucky to be there? The thing that got me, honestly, Michael, is I didn't see any Trump Force Ones. I mean, that's what I was looking for. I was I thought black people, I thought we were all going to vote for Trump because he has a new pair of sneakers out. But none of this is shocking. And I don't think that any of the people there expect any better of him, because if you're voting for Donald Trump and you actually want to show up in a place where you claim to be a Christian and want to vote for Donald Trump, you're already lost. And you're not a...
Let's go ahead and get started on him right now, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? First of all, I'm going to go here with it. Democrats and Republicans, I'm going to talk to both of you when I say this. Speaking as a foundational Black American freedman man, you know, the group that a lot of you want to court the vote of, let me explain something to you. When you go and choose somebody to speak about us that's not coming to talk to us, this is what you see on your screen here, and I'm going to be very specific in what I'm about to say. There's nothing wrong with being a brother that dresses in a suit and tie. I will do it myself on occasions, okay? Nothing wrong with that. So that's not what I'm critiquing. I'm not critiquing being a well-spoken, intelligent Black person. I have plenty of those listening to this broadcast live right here in this chat. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about his demeanor, his mannerisms, and his condescending attitude, this Jason Johnson character. Okay, because see, this guy right here with the way he acts, watch this. Again, I'm going to turn to the foundational Black American freedmen men listening to my chat room. Brothers, listen to this live. Okay. If this dude right here can, listen carefully, if this dude can walk up to you and instruct you on something, give me a thumbs up. But if this dude right here was to walk up to you speaking how he's speaking, you know, in that manner that shows you disconnected from us, I want y'all to fill this chat room up for the men with a bunch of thumbs down. Let's see, the people get a say over here. Oh, man, ATL and _00. Hurry up and put that thumb down. See, hey, let them know, family, because see, this is important. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm doing this for a reason. I'm going to ask a question again. If this man here on your screen can speak for you, put a thumbs up. If he can't speak for you, give a thumbs down. Because see, the point that I'm making is this. As Black men, okay, in this country, those of us that were born, foundational Black American freedmen men, okay, and our own co-immigrant brothers and sisters, I'll put them in this as well. We pride ourselves on being able to take care of our families, okay? We pride ourselves on being able to be pillars in our community. We pride ourselves on being able to give correct provision and guidance to those under our charge. We pride ourselves on doing the best that we can to speak up for our people and defend our women and children, okay, in our communities. That's what we pride ourselves on. Jason Johnson, or even his conservative counterpart, because he's got a counterpart, okay? You can't come to us and tell us to keep voting for benign neglect, or as I call it at this point, malevolent neglect. I better take a good look in the chat room. These brothers here, they say he can't speak for them because he damn sure can't speak for me. You cannot have us respect somebody that say, hey, guys, continue being the tree that votes for the axe, because this 4 years of Joe Biden here, we see what that's gotten Black America as a whole. Absolutely nothing. So all this Trump boogeyman talk, that's not going to work. See, look, we know that both of them are anti-Black racists, but you got two choices what people are making here in Black America. Y'all better pay attention to this. And this concerns you too, Republicans, and thinking you're just going to have a cruise victory ahead and you thinking you're going to play the same game that Democrats play. People are either going to vote for a candidate Couch of Chillington, who has been there for so many of us, okay? That boy, that candidate, boy, he's launched a hell of a campaign, boy, because I don't know about you, but Kyle Chillington, hey, that's my guy right there. Now, of course, you do need to be registered to vote so that it counts and shows that, okay, if you choose the couch, these are the votes that you could have had if you came talking like you had some sense and proposing business and policies to Black Americans to get the vote in exchange. So that I just want to be clear on that. It does count to be registered to vote. Now, the other people are saying, okay, they are going to vote Donald Trump and you're not going to scare them out of doing it. That's their right to do so as long as they don't continue to vote for these damn Democrats, okay? You're not going to shame Black people into saying, you know what? Look at all the chaos that has caught. Because see, this is the thing, Democrat Shills. The problem that the Jason Johnsons have, the crumbs that Master's flicking off your table, see, he's okay with being a bootlick and being subservient as long as he gets to look like a big overgrown milk dud with glasses. Yeah, I'm going there. And that poorly misshapen beard that you got, boy, what kind of grooming you got going on? But see, other Black people that have some dignity attached to us, we're not okay with that. Because see, the little crumbs that they giving him is just enough so that he gets to live in a state of delusion and he thinks everything's fine. Unfortunately for you, Jason Johnson, there's a little thing called results in society that the average Black American listening to this broadcast can look at. You know, start with the grocery store. Oh, yeah, you can't fake that. This inflation that we're seeing is real. Oh, yeah, start with the promises that Joe Biden made that he didn't keep. Oh, you know, that kind of stuff. See, when you have metrics that you can measure something by and see whether somebody kept their word or not, or even if they do try to keep their word, which Joe Biden has not, that's been proven. Even if they do try to keep their word, if you're not the best person for any particular job in an actual democracy, then the people get to say on saying, hey, listen, man, you might mean well, but you're not the person for this job, the man or woman for this job. You're not. It's time for you to get on out of here. We got somebody better. We're going to go in a different direction. That's it. It's as simple as that, Jason Johnson. See, you and Roland, y'all don't understand, man, that them crumbs that they giving you, and you can tell that old Boulay, No Neck Martin is eating pretty good. Okay, now Jason Johnson, he keeps going. His neck is going to disappear too. He look like he working on it because, I mean, look like he's a buffet master and trainer, buffet master junior. He going to get there. But see, the rest of Black America that's got intelligence and common sense, you're going to have to give us something for our votes, man. We're not going to sit here and watch them paper up the Ukrainians, okay? Then you bring in the Afghan refugees over here. You got that southern border, which is the biggest national security crisis ever. If y'all saw the article I posted on my community tab, that's a hell of a problem we got, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to sit here and have us see all these things with our eyes and then come up here and put this buffoon on TV. Oh, Donald Trump this. Oh, it ain't this bad. Yeah, okay. See, this is your problem right here, Democrats. What you got on the screen. I'm using him as a representative of many. Not just him himself, okay? Not just him. He represents all of your Shill class in the Democrat and Republican Party, okay? Y'all gonna learn, though. We're gonna teach you this year. I'm telling you right now, you're going to learn that you're dealing with a brand new Black America. But see, we're gonna listen to some more what this bootlicking Shill here, Jason Johnson, has to say. Let's let it continue, family.
Voter that can be talked to, reasoned with, or have much expectations of.
Right. So I don't expect much from the people in the room, but I do think that just because Donald Trump has been saying it, and frankly, the fact that Donald Trump has been like this for so long and he has not ever course corrected is as much as an indictment, I think, on our political discourse and the coverage of him than the people standing in that room. Like Donald, first of all, he called the president racist. On top of everything else, he said that Joe Biden was a racist. He said that Black people can identify with me because they're telling me I've been discriminated against. Like he talked about the fact that a lot of Black people are buying a mugshot shirt and they were printing them and selling them up themselves. They are with me. I do know a lot of people that bought the mugshot shirt. Let
me go ahead and stop Big Boulder Shoulders right there. Yes, he did call him a racist because a fellow racist recognizes other races. So they know their own kind. Big Bones, Sammy Sanders. Yes, he called him that. He recognizes fellow white supremacists. He just knows that he's wearing a different jacket as far as political parties. So he knows his own kind. All right, let's just get that out of the way. Now, you act like, because see, this is the thing, that Trump boogeyman stuff, start addressing what he's saying, all that buck dancing and shilling that you got going on. Joe Biden was the one that told us, if you don't vote for me or no way you don't vote for me or Trump, you ain't black. He said that. Oh, he said that. We've gone over Joe Biden's greatest hits many times on this channel. We're going to go over another one here tonight, too, a little bit later on. But she ain't going to explain none of that we got coming up. Just where you wait, family. See, all this tap dancing and shilling that her little old shaved down head is doing, and I'm almost said, I don't care, because other people like, I'm above this, trying to do all that virtue signaling. Now, I'm going to go here. I'm going to talk about everything I see on this screen, just like I got on Jason Johnson. Let me say something, man. Whoever the man is that decided to marry that says a lot about you, brother. That says a lot about you. Oh my God. No. Your wife is supposed to be your representative. That right there could not represent me. I'm going to say it. Yes, I am, family. I got to go here. Man, because see, if you ever see what he looked like, man, it says a lot. I'll be somewhat nice. It says a lot about you, okay? But going back to what she's talking about here, this buck dancing, this shilling, she's the same as Jason Johnson. She getting the little crumbs off the Democratic Party's table, and her entire livelihood is attached to that. See, both of them are ashamed to what our ancestors sacrificed for us, family. Our ancestors were the epitome of do for self, coming out of slavery and Jim Crow and Reconstruction and all of that. They were the epitome of that before the white supremacists started burning down our towns and sabotaging everything that we tried to do. Our people weren't beholden to them folks for nothing, because one, that wasn't an option back then. So they came together, put nose to grindstone, and built things, okay? And built things that were a lot nicer than the areas that them folks had, okay? These two are ashamed because they are stuck groveling at the feet of our oppressors. This is disgusting when I see this, okay? I'm saying it. This is absolutely disgusting to sit up here and act like you don't see what the entire of Black America is seeing and experiencing. But again, because they're in that little bubble because of them crumbs that they get flicked off the table. And it's not a lie. Look, if y'all knew what they were selling out for, you would laugh and be like, this is all they gave you? This is it? This is what keep you selling out your people, huh? Because it's not a lot, okay? It's not like these people are set for life. Why you think they have to buck dance so hard? And see, I'm going to go there with it. Neither of them has any real talent to do anything on their own, okay? See, what these are, I'm going to go in here with roller skates on. Yeah, hold it. Let me go ahead and strap these custom-made skates on. Let me put them on here. Get them strapped up tight. You're looking at basically two descendants of our ancestors on the plantations, the ones that didn't want to leave. That's right, I said it. So Samami Sanders and Jason Johnson, you happen to hear this? I'm saying, I'm talking directly to you. You two pathetic bootlicks are descendants of the ancestors of yours that didn't want to leave the plantation. That's right, because there were some, unfortunately, that was, I'll stay here with you, master. This is exactly what you are. You in nicer clothes. Yeah, you in nicer clothes. You actually have little titles and positions, but you looked at as a bootlick. And I'm telling you, y'all time is coming, because when they're done with their tools, they always break them. You're not going to be the first to not be broken. So yeah, like I said, family, and if anybody disagrees with that, you think I'm being harsh, that's fine. Just wait till you hear the rest of this. Let it continue.
Donald Trump has been 4 times indicted, 91 counts. The only reason we have a mugshot is because of the black DA in Fulton County and the black sheriff that made sure he got one to ensure that he knew that he was not above the law. So it is disgusting. It is offensive. I was gravely offended by the South Carolina party chair, the Republican party chair, who said, I mean, if you don't know by now, if I don't know by now, what?
Then you
what am I supposed to
know me
accept?
For sure.
What am I supposed to accept? When the sneakers came out, we didn't say it on the show. That we said it in the break. We were talking. I'm like, oh, it's really offensive because they think black people gonna vote for them for sneakers, and then people.
Oh, I'm not gonna let you get away with that, Big Bone Sanders. Oh no. Because yes, we've critiqued that. Y'all know I went in on that, but You know who did the same thing, family? And see, this is the beauty about being in this age that we're in now, okay? Remember, get your booty to the polls. Remember them ad campaigns they came out with, okay? No voting, no fucking, no loving, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That kind of goofy crap. Y'all remember that kind of stuff? Last time I checked, who was behind those messages? Give me a second. Let me think. Oh, it was the Democrats. Oh my. How is that any different than Trump and them goofy, ugly sneakers? Oh, see, you don't want to talk about that big bone Sammy Sanders. And see, this is another thing that you Shills and Republicans, because I'm talking to both of you. This is what y'all don't understand. When you go and get these hand-picked chumps to sit here and talk like this with no intelligent opposition about the things that we clearly see you've done, the only thing you're doing is adding tax to what we're going to charge you to get our vote. Oh, yeah, I said it. We're adding a tax to that because, see, every time that you play in our face, you tripling the price. You tripling the price. Now, when you decide to stop playing and pay that tab, hey, don't want to hear no, yeah, see, you could have went ahead and dealt with us with square business and, hey, this tab that you owe would have been a lot cheaper. But now, since you want to play games with us, like all of us are big overgrown children for both parties, hey, the price is going to keep getting jacked up. Keep playing, no problem. We are excellent mathematicians over here. We going to keep on adding to that tab. Oh, you going to pay with interest, too. You don't believe me? Don't believe me? Just watch it. Them polls come November. You're going to learn. This is absolutely disgusting, fam. Let's let it continue.
On Fox News and they say, black people gonna vote for sneakers. Like, at this point, it is like black Americans deserve a elevated discourse. Do they not think black men care about the economy?
Like the sneakers, and then as we were talking about.
Did you hear her just say that? Did they not think black men care about the economy? Obviously, you don't. Because if you did, you would understand that black men are not saying, hey, just vote for the Democrats so we can get more social programs that we as men don't have access to. See, men with a backbone, I'm not talking about the homosexual class because the homosexuals do not count as men. In case you don't know what a homosexual is, that is a bum, a grown man that wants to live off of a woman. Most black men in America do not fit that criteria, okay? We are of the mindset of two things when it comes to making a living. Either you're going to be a brother that you're a skilled tradesman. Three things, actually. You're a skilled tradesman. You're going to go and work for somebody that way till you start your own business. You're the type of person that maybe the workforce is suited for you. Okay, you find you a decent job. You work that way. Or the third one that most of us would rather be entrepreneurs and provide jobs to other people in our community. The Democrats do not facilitate any of what I just talked about. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, if they're good for any of the three descriptions that would fit a grown man, a grown black man making a living in our society today. The Democrats are horrible about doing business, especially with all these goofy laws and taxes they're trying to come out with to hurt, the small, business owners, okay? Then they're horrible about actually doing things to give economic capital to black businesses and people like that. They're horrible for that. They're not speaking up when you're discriminated against in these different financial institutions, which we don't own. Okay. Then on top of that, they think they're slick with that little social program thing because they know that mostly a lot of the sisters will vote for them because of that. But see, let me tell you something. This goes to show that not only are you out of touch with black men, you're out of touch with black women in this country, especially foundational black American freedmen women. The sisters that are getting them little programs, see, today we're in a different time where the brothers that are qualified can speak to the sisters like myself and present this type of information. And what do I always tell the sisters to pay attention to? Policy and numbers. These sisters are looking at things and they're like, the math isn't adding up. They're like, wait. We not trying to hear it. If you not going to give us the same investment into business and opportunity that you give to these other people that don't even vote for you like black folks have for the Democratic Party for the last 60 years, we're going to have to renegotiate this deal. Oh, just wait. Look, family, I guarantee you those numbers, because we already know what the boomer class is going to do, and I'm not talking about all the boomers, but the ones that it applies to. A lot of those numbers, I can't wait to look at the numbers come election time. It's going to be a much lower percentage of black women coming out voting for them this time. See, they thinking that. That's why they keep, black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party. Okay, then why don't you do something? Look, we going to go here. Because, see, I'm going to be fair with it. I'm going to show you something. Watch this, Boule Martin. Since you want to go with that black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party line, I'm going to start with something that they say. Because, see, I always tell y'all, don't let people tell you about a problem and then they don't offer any type of solution. Black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party. How about you start doing things that address their specific issues? Like the infant mortality rate, because see, that's medical racism. Because if it wasn't, then the mortality rate will be the same across the board. That would just be saying, oh, hey, if you're going to have a baby, that's what the infant mortality rate is for everybody. Why is it only the one group of women have the highest infant mortality rate? I hadn't heard you talking about what you're going to do about that, Democrats. Yeah, see, you got the right one over here tonight. Yes, you do. Simone Sanders, what you talking about that? Let's go here for the black American woman, small business owner. Them taxes, tax policies y'all got, that's horrible for them. The sisters that own businesses in here, y'all understand how that is when you actually have to pay taxes. Oh, man, the Democrats are hurting our people when it comes to small business. Okay? Oh, let's keep on going, shall we? We're going to leave black men out of this. And since they say black women are backbone of the party, how much do you appreciate the backbone? Because last I checked, in the human anatomy, the backbone is a very important part of the body. You cannot stand upright if your backbone is fractured or it's weakened, okay? Now, what are you doing to help black women that happen to be single parents as far as the programs for their children to receive better education? What you doing about that? What are you doing to assist them with health care? What are you doing to assist them with daycare if they need it? Oh, see, I can keep going. I don't think you appreciate your backbone very much. But see, despite all of that, let's go right to the regular workforce. What are you doing to make sure that black American women get the same opportunities as Becky, who a lot of times, and some of you might have had the experiences, unfortunately, in my chat, who you're 10 times more talented and more educated than, and then you have to train Becky, who is about as sharp as a box of rocks, to end up being your supervisor. What you doing to even the playing field on that, huh? Oh, yeah. See, when you put it in that kind of context, you see why that makes them sound like absolute buffoons. But they're not done yet, because see, if you think I'm making them look like buffoons, oh no, they're going to do a much better job of that than I. Let's let it continue.
Last buck and menthol cigarettes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because that's all we do is we wear gold lame sneakers and we smoke menthol cigarettes.
But you have to.
Oh, and we have mug shots too. So
you have to understand, though, this is a room of very unique kind of black folk. Okay, it's a bunch of bad lineups and members-only jackets, right? Like that's what we're dealing with here. And so I'm not surprised that these sorts of people accept that. These are the same people who listen to Killer Mike. These are the same people who listen to idiots on podcasts. These are the same large number of black folks who listen to Joe Rogan. Those people are out there. I'm less concerned with anybody who is okay with Trump's racism than I am with the people who are so disconnected from the process that they're not worried about his racism. Those people are more of a concern for me than the people voting for the guy.
Oh, boy. This big old bad-built Teddy Graham-looking jackass right here. Let me tell you something, Jason Johnson, and you Democrat Shills, all of you. We've been dealing with racism in this country since its inception. We can deal with that. You know what helps black folks deal with racism? Money. Yes, cut that check. You're not going to get around this reparations conversation. You're not going to get around this anti-black hate crime bill legislation. Because see, why this jackass is paused on the screen here? Oh, yeah, hold on. We finna bring up something. Oh, yeah, we finna take the time to go ahead and do this. Oh. Wow. Did this just happen to change real quick on the screen? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Who remembers this? Oh, who remembers this? What you're looking at on your screen here? Can everybody see this? Okay, on the screen. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see this? Because see, to me, you know, I said I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. You know, this right here kind of looks like that COVID-19 and Asian anti-hate crime bill. That kind of looks like this. Ladies and gentlemen, let us read a portion of this, shall we? Now, the 117th Congress of the United States of America, at the first session, began and held at the city of Washington on Sunday, the 3rd of January, 2021. Oh, just wanted to get it correct so we know what we're looking at here. Let's scroll on up. Family, do you see this on your screen here? Remember when Boule Martin tried to tell us that the COVID-19 bill wasn't an anti-Asian hate crime bill, and y'all remember all that propaganda that they put out talking about black people attacking Asians left and right? First of all, even if that was true, which it wasn't, it was a vicious lie in our community. We got not gonna ever forgive the media outlets that went along with that. Even if that was true, if somebody want to do something, they're gonna do it, okay? But now Boule Martin told us it wasn't race specific, because see, even though we're doing things based on lineage, I'm showing you this here tonight for a reason, to show you that, and I can go, not only this policy, I can show you several other policies that are done specifically by race, but when it comes to us, we can't get nothing. You see these red underlines? Count how many times you see Asian up in this particular paragraph right here. I want you to look at this now. You ready? Count it. You can see that for yourselves. Can everybody see that? Okay. Oh, but we was told that this wasn't race specific. Shit, I don't see no other racial group mentioned in here. See, I posted this on my community tab. They didn't tell the Asians that, well, you already got protections under the Civil Rights Act. They didn't tell them that. Oh, they got to work and pass legislation and a bag. Y'all remember that, right? Huh, Boule Martin? You didn't even say, hey, they could have put black folks in there, since according to the FBI crime statistics, we're the ones going back for the last 20 plus years and more that have been the highest victims of hate crimes. You didn't do that. Look at all that. Asian. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times right here in this alone. 7 times. Yeah. Jason Johnson and Simone Mamie Sanders ain't mentioning none of that. Look at all these different Asian groups they got mentioned down. They got specific with this. You see that? Huh? Yeah. So, now that I've shown you that, because see, I tell you, when GBS say something, I'm going to back it up with receipts, okay? We're going to take this down, because see, I just wanted to pause it and show you that right there. See, this is what we're looking at. Jason Johnson, Simone Mamie Sanders, you're not talking about an anti-black hate crime bill. You're not addressing the fact that they left us out of that when it should have been for us. But hey, I'm like, okay, you want to protect them? Fine. I don't have no problem with people being protected from harm, which they wasn't being harmed. Okay, you got your businesses in black communities, yet you so afraid of black people. But you didn't say, hey, y'all should include it. You know, when they want to say black and, why don't they put that and on other groups? See, the black women that you call the black backbone of the Democratic Party, they're tired of that black and when you're not putting the and on other groups when it comes to them getting tangible policies for them and their people. That day is over. But see, according to them, oh no, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing. Let's let these jackasses continue. Then we're gonna come back and dissect everything that they're saying.
This is his pitch, though, to the sneakers with this. Yes, he was speaking to the room, but the cameras were there. He was speaking to black people across the country. These are their talking points. Right. This is what it is. I mean, let's just be clear about Donald Trump's record for black people, because I wrote it down. Under Trump, the black unemployment rate went up and the uninsured rate went up. His tax scam reinforced discrimination. The typical white household got double the cut of a typical black household. The COVID response disproportionately affected black people, left us dead. Disproportionately affected black-owned businesses. They closed. He pushed to bring back stop and frisk. Like, do we need to go back to Central Park 5, birtherism? Like, there's a list here. I can go on.
Well, especially because he's...
But see, you rattled off that list, and the problem, old big back, and you can see that that back is quite big from this screenshot here, okay? Bigger than Jason Johnson's back, fat to business. yeah, I'm gonna make observations. What you didn't say was, okay, let's just say all of that was true, which it wasn't. But if it was, what did Joe Biden do to counteract that? See, if you are going to, this is the thing that politicians don't understand, and their shills don't understand. If you got so much better policies lined up for people, you don't have to tell us about them. We'll see the results of it. It's as simple as that. If somebody's so great and so wonderful, you will see the results in society around you on a daily basis. But see, Big Wide back here with that little shaved down head, they think you actually don't have the sense enough to pay attention to that. Hey, look, let me tell you something, right? For the people that actually do things in their communities or what have you, people know who those folks are. They don't have to run around telling people, hey, guys, remember what I did? No, people going to be like, hey, man, that brother or sister right there is solid. I remember when they did this, that, the third. People will seek them out because they know, hey, this is the person I need to go to if I need to get something done. They don't have to run around waving a flag talking about what they're doing because it's self-evident, because they're busy putting in the work. Where's Joe Biden put in work to undo some of that stuff she read out? Because see, let me tell you what she didn't say. Donald Trump didn't put one policy in action during his presidency that targeted black folks like your boy Jim Crow Joe did, Big Back Samami Sanders. Oh, yeah. Boy, they don't like talking about that. Show me the policy that Trump enacted to harm black people. Even if it was indirectly, the First Step Act did get some black folks out of jail. You know that the crime bill put in there. Oh, did I go there? Oh, and let me just go ahead and say it now. You done like a Trump supporter. Nope, I'm not supporting nobody. I'm supporting the couch until it's tangibles. But I'm going to tell y'all like a lot of us telling you. What if I was? What if I did say, hey, you know what? If they offer us something tangible, let me tell you something. If Donald Trump come out and say, hey, listen, you know what? We've been thinking about it. We talking about it. We going to go ahead and get reparations done. You think he's not going to get my vote? You damn right I will. Yeah, man, listen here. Y'all will be like, GBS, what? I will come out that bitch with a MAGA hat on. You think I won't? I ain't going to be cooning and buffooning about it. Yeah, you can get my vote as long as you're going to follow through on this. Come out with an anti-black hate crime bill. Yeah, you can get my vote then. I'm for whoever's going to do something for our people. So for those that, you trying like a Trump supporter. Okay, if he gives something tangible, you damn right I'm going to be a supporter of whoever supports my community. That's how that works, okay? So I just want to get that cleared up right now because I know that's going to be coming. How much the Republicans is paying you? You know them cornballs like that. Boy, I tell you, man, and you know what? Times like this make me miss the recently departed now ancestor, Mr. Eric Mays, because, boy, I wish I would have got a chance to meet that man. I wish I would have got a chance to meet that brother. Salute to him and condolences to his family. But Mr. Eric Mays, man, him, and I know if you happen to hear this, brother, he may be listening, but very humble brother. But Mr. Eric Mays and our brother who's still with us here, Greg Marcel Dixon, are, to me, that's the standard for how you're going to be if you're going to represent your people. You fight for your people. You give them intelligent information. You don't take no trash from these folks so you can get something moved. Those are the type of people that come from the grassroots that we need fighting for us. So, we have to honor the legacy of Mr. Eric Mays because, boy, that was a hell of a man right there, man. That's how you stand up and actually be a man for your people, okay? Hell of a man. We will definitely miss that ancestor now. But the stuff that I just said, they're not going to address none of that. We're going to get to what they are going to address, though. Because if y'all think y'all done heard it all, you ain't heard nothing lit yet. Let's let it continue.
never let the truth get in the way of a good story, right? So, of course, he was going to go up there and spin his record. That is what he does in front of every group. I think the thing we're all trying to figure out is he's not trying to win the black vote, right? He's trying to just siphon off enough black voters and create a permission structure where it may say, you may have voted for Democrats all your life, but it is okay for you to vote for me, which is why I'm almost more curious about how Democrats then counter that narrative. How they close that permission structure.
Here's the thing. There is no permission structure. I don't think, my personal philosophy on this, my intellectual philosophy on this, it ain't about switching votes. Okay, Donald Trump, Killer Mike, any of his surrogates, any rapper that he got out of jail. Yes, it's about keeping people home. It's about saying, Joe Biden is terrible, I'm terrible, your life hasn't changed much, don't get involved. Yes, he ain't trying to switch anybody over. He's trying to get you to stay home.
It is a voter depression tactic. In 2016, he won 8% of black voters across the country. In 2020, again, about 8% of black voters. The last election, he got about 8, I do believe 9% of black voters. To the point that Garrett made at the top of the show, if it's the margins that matter here, because this is going to be a close election. And if Donald Trump is able to, instead of getting 8%, maybe he takes up to 12 or 13, or that and the depression of some black votes is enough for people to stay home. I encourage people to, because I have black men in my life that voted for Donald Trump in 2016. Okay, my husband is not one of them, because I know people, my husband from South Carolina, my husband is not one of them. I just want to be clear, my man is not one of them. But
oh, we know you wear the pants over there in that marriage. We get it. We get it.
in 2016, I know black people that voted for Donald Trump. And so I am not shocked nor surprised, but what I do encourage people to do is do their research. It is not true that Donald Trump had the lowest unemployment rate ever for black people. That happened under Joe Biden in April of 2023. Right you know, it's not true that he has, you know, done the most for HBCUs. Like, that happened under Joe Biden and this administration. Like, it's
Woo, the lie that this heifer just told, and I paused it right here on this screenshot for a reason. I paused it on this frame rather for a reason. Yes, I did. Cause see, she looked just like a jackass. She got them big old donkey teeth in her mouth with that little old shaved head. She looked just like that donkey on this thumbnail because you're being a jackass for them Democrats. You gonna sit here and tell that lie that Joe Biden did more funding for the HBCUs. First of all, he came in there and cut the budget that Trump had already decided to give them, which was going to be perpetually sustainable. That's the truth. And this isn't about liking somebody, because over here on this channel, we don't go off of like and don't like. That's for children. Because a lot of black people are trying to make adult decisions off of who I like, who I don't like. I don't care about who we like. We're talking about what we can verify and measure. Y'all remember that when he got in office, he slashed the HBCU funding. He damn sure did. You can look that up. And you gonna sit here with your big donkey teeth and your shaved head and tell that damn lie. See, you Democrats, with these ridiculous shills that you keep sending out here that just blatantly lie to black people when we in an age. See, it's not like before where you couldn't go and look up and verify things. You can fact check everything today if you got the mind to do it. You sit here and tell these lies and then we can see that with your little donkey teeth looking self? No, Sammy Sanders. See, my chat room remembers that. Yes, Leroy Brown. She actually has a husband. That's what she claims. She got one, a little old. You already know. Listen, she probably, boy. Woo, dude. If you suffer from domestic violence from these big old boulder shoulders here and that big wide back, hey man, you better reach out and try to get you some help, man. Because I can see, boy, she tackle his ass through a wall. He try to stand over to her. But anyway, I digress. My point is, you got these liars out here that they send to represent folks. Let me tell you something. Black people don't like being lied to, especially in this economy. You want to piss black people off? Keep doing what you're doing. You're going to find out you're going to pay for all of this come November. Let's let it continue.
Do your research, folks. Just give a quick Google search, because I can't. I mean, it is offensive. It is offensive. It is offensive. And for the people to continue to write think pieces and parse what he said, and it's like, oh, well, this is just Trump and it's a play for black voters. This is so unserious. So unserious. Do we not deserve more? And damn it, it's Black History Month.
I don't. Here's the thing, though. These are not. I mean, to quote Succession, these are not serious people. They never have been, right? But what I always look at when I look at any of these conversations about black folks, I always expand it, right? I always expand it to the rising majority that's in this country. Yes. It ain't gonna fall on the shoulders of black people as to whether or not Joe Biden gets elected. The people who are not.
Now, make sure you listen to what this little sassy milk dud head bastard just said. He actually let that statement come out of his mouth. Jason Jackass Johnson. Jason JJ, that's what we gonna call him. Jackass Johnson. Old JJ, dynamite. Yeah, Jackass Johnson. Have you not looked at who the Democrats' primary voter base has been for the last 60 plus years, you idiot? Huh? Have you not looked at that? See, there's a real thing called numbers and records that you can go and verify stuff before you speak, you big dumb moron, you. He has to just let this come out of his mouth. But if you think you ain't heard nothing yet, he is the definition, the poster child of you should quit while you're ahead. Let's let it continue.
Being discussed enough are the increasingly conservative young Asian and Latino men in places like Texas and Arizona and Colorado. That's going to be the difference. And while
the Asian and Latino men, first of all, the Asian community don't even vote like that. I'm gonna put you up on game what the Asian community do. They don't vote like that. Let me tell you what they do. Because look, what they do, whether you like it or not, they pass a bag to both parties. That's what they do. Oh, yes. Oh, look, they running things like that over there in California for a reason in these different places where they'll pass a bag to both parties. They surely will quietly. They fund both sides. So like whoever win, hey, I need these policies for my people. They don't vote like that. They don't. When you start talking about Latino men and Latino people or whatever, most of them vote conservative, you idiot. You can look that up. Most of them are not with the, look, for the very sense, and see, this is why, even if you did try to legalize a lot of South Borderians that are Hispanic, because you think, okay, yeah, they're going to practice anti-black racism against us, they're going to vote conservative because they're not with a lot of policies of the Democrats. They don't believe in deleting their kids. They're not with all of that colorful rainbow community crap that you got going on, pushing that on their kids. They're not with a lot of that crowd. So, see, it sounds good on paper, this fantasy world that him and Big Back Sanders sitting up here creating for themselves. JJ and Big Back Sanders, okay, these two little supervillains, these Democrat Shill supervillains, okay? That sounds good, but then reality paints a different picture. Let's let these idiots continue.
Everybody sits and has this laser focus on black men. You've got Latino men who are working at the border who are like, hey, I don't like these immigration issues. Why is nobody talking about me? You've got Asian American men who are saying, hey, wait a minute, I don't think affirmative action has worked for me. We have this twisted focus on the wrong group of people. No matter if every single black person, and always, you always had 12, 13% of black people who end up voting for a Republican anyway. If every single black man in America who voted for
what was that little old shoulder bop his little sassy behind just did? Did y'all see that, family? Is it just me or did anybody else notice that little sassy shoulder bop? Hold it, man. Wait. Fellas, I know I have men listening to me from 18 on up to 50. Across generations, whether you a boomer that's on code. You know what? Never mind even on code. We're just going to ask a question. Whether you're a boomer, a Gen X, or a millennial, or Gen Z, have any of y'all ever did that little sassy shoulder bop that he just did when you in conversation with somebody? I'm trying to ask the men a question. I just want to see something, man. Cause I know I don't. I'm not going to pick on nobody. If you do, I just want to understand something. As men, those of us that are straight and that are not a part of the kaleidoscope community, no disrespect to them, but that little sassy shoulder bop, I don't, for the brothers, is that how, have any of y'all, is that how y'all communicate? Right, you will say, hell no. I'm just saying, I don't know anybody that communicates like that, not the men that I know. He actually had a little rhythm with it, too. A little oompa loompa looking dumbass. Let's let this continue.
for Trump, went and voted for Joe Biden this time, it ain't going to change much.
I don't think that's true.
But a large, I'm telling you, even unless you look at a place like Georgia, right, which is a very, very small margin, but most of those black men, it's not going to end up making a difference. But if we look at Latino.
Ew, I can't let you get away with that, boy, because you mentioned my state. Now, Playboy, I'm going to tell you what, mark my words on this microphone. You think that Georgia, the black men in Georgia ain't going to make a difference. Watch what I tell you. Oh, you're going to be quite surprised. You're going to be surprised about the black women down here, too. Oh, yes, because I have conversations with my people, something you don't do. JJ, Jackass Johnson, you are Big Bone Samami Sanders, okay? I actually have conversations with my people down here. You're going to be surprised what happened in Georgia because y'all going to learn, just like I said before, Georgia is a red state. Atlanta is the primary Democratic city here. But you're going to see some changes with that, too. Don't believe me. You're going to see. Because, see, even all these people that run their mouth that only pass through here from time to time, they're going to be surprised. Just wait. I'm going to tell you something. This game of political chicken that you playing with Black America, you're going to lose in the end. Because, see, you already see how the Arab American community is dealing with Jim Crow Joe over that issue overseas there that black folks ain't got a dog in the fight in. We asking you the same question. Okay, since you say that Trump is so bad, then why you wanting to win? Why? I mean, that's on you. You doing this to yourself. You could go ahead and provide us with the tangibles that we have many times explained, okay, that we're going to need in exchange for our vote. And if you don't give them, fine, no problem, couch. Or some people going to vote for the orange man. That's just what it's going to be. So I guess you want Trump back in there. Seems to me that, you know, according to these shills here, that the Democrats are the biggest cheerleaders for Donald Trump. I'm just going to say, since you hate him so much, you seem to be doing everything you can to help him get back in there. You running around here playing all this political gamesmanship with these goofy charges that you got on it, trying to stop the man from winning the election. You ain't doing nothing but helping him. Every move that you making is backfiring because you instead of doing the right thing and saying, you know what? Black people have voted for this party for the last 60 plus years. Let's actually go ahead and do right by our main voter base. But see, the game that you playing, you're going to crash and burn. Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z, we don't worship white Jesus and Democrat Party. We're going to let that party crash and burn. You've been letting our community crash and burn for the last 60 plus years. It's time for us to serve you some of the same benign neglect you serve us. We're going to serve you that malevolent neglect. That's what I'm going to go ahead and call it. Because it's malevolent neglect at this point when you're spending our tax dollars. In fact, the business for the people that are gathered over here, because I want you to see this. See, I like to give you, but I tell you something that you can measure. Everybody that's over here, y'all know what I'm going to put in this chat room. Go ahead to foreignassistance.gov. Oh, yeah, so you can see where our good old American tax dollars are going. I'm going to put this in here 3 times. And if you never looked at this site, especially if you're a young black person, I want you, if I had to be, put it in there 4 times. I want you to become familiar with this as a young black person. And when I say young, I'm talking about you 18, 21. You need to know where the money is going in our community. Salute to the good brother Project Leroy for the Cash App. And salute to the good sister Sakina Collins for the Cash App. I appreciate the support very much, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? I want y'all to become familiar with studying policy and numbers, okay? Back to business. You know what? Let me put the other tool in here before we let the JJ, Jackass, Dynamite, and Big Back Juggernaut Clone Sanders here. I'm going to put another tool that I want, especially young black people, become familiar with. I want you to go to fec.gov, the site I'm putting in the chat. I'm going to put it in here 3 or 4 times. And your favorite politicians that's running around campaigning for you, go in there and type their name in and look at their funding so you can see which corporations own these shields, okay? See, I give you tools that you can use over here, okay? So I put that information in the chat. Y'all bookmark that and become familiar with those sites. I put them in here often. Time to time, it's been a while since I've done it. So I'm putting it in here tonight because it's apropos to what we're talking about. See, listen. These clowns up here with this little game that they playing, the only thing you doing is insulting black America, especially when you got places like Chicago, New York, over there, and places like Denver, they flooding our people with these migrants. these crimes that they starting to commit, and see, I'm going to say this again. I don't care who got a problem with it. You better now, more than ever, pay attention to your black children if you're in these places where these migrants are at, because I've showed you many times over here on my platform, these jokers right here are absolute degenerates and predators. That's what you got going on, okay? You see now, you remember when I said this, a lot of that stuff hadn't started. What's come to pass? Did I not call it or did I not call it? Look at all the stuff they doing now. It's everything that I said they would be doing. Huh? Again, I'm focused on Black America. Watch your black babies. You understand me? Don't you sit here and be the type of parent with these migrants running around all the place. You got your kids place, you don't know where they at. You got to be on top of that. You hear me, family? Because I got some reports coming up on certain things that are very disturbing. I'm going to have to find a way to talk about it on here because, man, you better be on your game. You better be on your game because, see, these idiots right here, they don't care about your black babies. They don't, but I do. Let's let it continue.
Latino men and we look at Asian men, that's where the difference is. That's where the focus needs to be. We have the Democrats have to have the Democrats have to have a pivot to different kinds of people and stop talking to folks who are 55, 60 years old who listen to what an old rapper has to say because their vote's already decided. It's those 18, 19-year-olds who are working right now at CVS and Verizon who don't see a difference, who are the ones who are liable to either stay home or switch their vote.
Now, the internet gonna be on fire by what you just said about black men, Jason. I just want to get your mentions ready.
Yeah, you worried about the internet, Sammy Sanders. No, baby. The internet is not what you need to worry about, Big Back. No, Big Back Buffet Master. No. You better be worried about the grassroots offline. That's what you better be worried about. Because, see, we remember all of your buck dancing and shilling in 2020. Oh, y'all knew I was going to go with it and hit the Wayback Machine, right? I like to go back and look at things. So that's some Sammy Sanders we just looked at in 2024. We need to roll on back to 2020 and analyze this. I'm going to play something for you here and see. We're going to break some of this down as well because, see, right after this, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to give you a reminder of things because, see, these people that really do think we playing with them. They do. That's fine. That's okay. You can play. You can play, but you're not going to like the rules that we finna play by. I want y'all to take a listen to this and tell me if this is somebody that you trust to have your best interests at heart.
Well, Joe Biden is making his strategy pretty clear. To win the White House, he will have to win the Rust Belt battleground states.
And that's why in a few hours, he's holding a major rally in Philadelphia. This is the home of his new campaign headquarters, a Democratic stronghold in a state that Donald Trump took to cement his 2016 win. We're talking, of course, about Pennsylvania. And this is the final leg of his 3-week campaign kickoff. It's happening as he opens an even wider lead in Democratic polling.
CNN political reporter Arlette Saenz joins us live in Philadelphia. Still a few hours out from the start of the event, but you're seeing some movement around here.
Yeah, some folks are starting to arrive for the event here. In a few hours, Joe Biden will be holding his first major official kickoff rally of his campaign. And a short while ago, we received some excerpts of his remarks that he's going to make with a central message of unity. Biden will say that if Americans want a president who spews hate, they don't need him, saying that the current president does just that. And Biden saying that he's going to present a different path for Democrats, Republicans, and independents. With the first 3 weeks of his 2020 run behind him, Joe Biden turning to a new phase in his campaign.
I'll be president for all America, not just the base.
First, a campaign headquarters and kickoff rally in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, a state Democrats lost to Donald Trump in 2016, and one where Biden sees an opening. A recent poll found Biden beating Trump in a head-to-head matchup there by 11 points.
If I'm going to be able to beat Donald Trump in 2020, it's going to happen here.
In the early weeks of his campaign, Biden enjoying his stronger-than-expected front-runner status. topping national polls, lining up endorsements in key early states, and raking in more money in the first 24 hours than any of his Democratic rivals.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you again.
He's taken his brand of politics to 6 states across the country, from an ice cream shop in Iowa to fielding voters' questions in a New Hampshire backyard.
Folks, we can change this again, and the best way to change.
Now, I'm going to pause it because, oh boy, how different are things now 4 years later that a lot of the bisexuals and some of these goofy white liberals went and put this goofball in office here, falling upstairs, shaking imaginary people's hands. It's so bad, family. Because I got to go here. It's so bad. You got people in other countries. I guess the Italian version of Saturday Night Live. Have y'all seen that clip? And no, I'm not going to play it. But if y'all, it's out there. You can find it if you don't know what I'm talking about. There's an Italian comedy show that did a parody of this joke. That thing is hilarious. Unfortunately, it's sadly hilarious. But see, I pause it right here on this frame for a reason. You look at that crowd that he's speaking to. Look at them. All these alabaster faces back there. They don't represent black. And you got that one black person back there. She look like she black. They don't speak for us. You're not coming to speak to black folks unless you trying to be condescending. Oh, but you know, he'll come sit down with black people and eat some chicken. You know what I'm saying? Eat some chicken with folks and record that. See, I'm eating chicken. And you talking about look, see. Racism isn't always letting the N-word fly right in front of your face. Do you understand how insulting that is? If you were going to eat anything, I brought some chicken. I brought some chicken to you. Your niggers like chicken, don't you? See, you can't talk about Trump and his shoes when you're doing that. What's the difference? Somebody explain it to me. What's the difference? Both are insulting to black Americans. If you're going to sit down at a table with us, you better be talking policy and numbers. You see, I wish that brother and that family that he sat down with the chicken would have said, hey, man, we can get our own chicken. You need to come in and talk about anti-black hate crime bill or reparations. You see these babies I got? That's who that's going to be for. I need something with that going on. What you got going on as far as investment in black businesses? What you got going on as far as that? Don't come up with no damn chicken. We can get our own chicken. Same thing I'm telling you, Republicans. We can get our own sneakers. We don't care nothing about your shoes, okay? That ridiculousness. Trump, I'm telling you, you want to lose? Don't play that game. Because I heard what you said with the comments. I heard that. Okay, you acknowledge a lot of things that are true, but see, don't pull the Beto O'Rourke Democrat game where you tell us black people about things that we already know what the problems are. We don't need a person sitting in front of us reciting the problems. We talking about solutions to the problems. A lot of which we have, but we're saying, hey, listen, this is what we need. Starting with that anti-black hate crime bill. You can't just recite problems, bro. Oh, see, he acknowledged this. See, that's another thing. They treat us like children and think that, okay, just acknowledging us, oh, they acknowledged us. I don't know anybody listening to this broadcast live or recorded that's a foundational black American freedman that say, oh, man, see, they had acknowledged me. Okay, great. You acknowledge me. Let's talk business and solutions, okay? Yeah, that's what we going with that. So until you're ready to do that for both sides, we're not going to take you serious at all. We're not going to take you serious at all, at all, okay? So now, with that being said, we're going to continue to analyze this because this was 2020 now. For those that are not paying attention, see it on the screen here. I want y'all to listen to this and let it continue.
It, and I'm not joking, is to get Donald Trump out of that office.
Biden framing his campaign as a showdown with President Trump, a move that's drawn the president's ire.
How do you beat Joe Biden? I think we beat him easily.
The former vice president also facing friendly fire from his Democratic opponents.
I disagree with him. That crime bill, that 1994 crime bill, it did contribute to mass incarceration in our country.
No, I don't think that Joe is the most progressive candidate in this race.
Biden largely aiming to stay above the fray.
I will not speak ill of any of the Democratic candidates. I will not do it.
We thank Arlette Saenz for that report. Joining us now.
Salute to the good brother Kermit S. Wingfield and the brother Rashawn for the cash out. Thank you very much for those generous contributions, my brothers. Thank you, thank you. But see, family, we got to take a look back because, see, one of the ways that you make better decisions when you're going forward, okay, into the future, you have to analyze the past, okay? And you have to see how that past decision-making correlates to present day and if it was a right decision or not. Now, for Foundation of Black American Freedmen, we can see that anybody that supported Jim Crow Joe, because I damn sure didn't, we can see that that was a hell of a mistake. That has cost not only Black America, it has cost America as a whole. Family, let me tell you something. Do you not understand? And I put this on my community tab as well. Do you not understand that the fastest growing group coming into this country are Chinese migrants? Did I not tell you that the CCP was going to exploit that weakness? Did I not say that? I've been saying that for the longest before a lot of people even started talking about it. Because, see, unfortunately, some naive people, oh, well, don't worry about the migrants. It's just the Democrats. No, it's actually both. You better be concerned about both of them. All these military aides fighting males coming in here, and see, I'm going to say something that's going to sound a bit cruel. I want them all deported, the women and the children. You damn right, because what's considered children, a lot of teenagers coming over here, they jumping police officers. Hello, New York. I thought y'all back the blue. What happened to that? And they're starting to harm foundational Black American freedmen, like I said they was. The brother Project Leroy pointed that out in the chat. Then there was a situation where a young kid got stabbed over there in California. Okay? All of this stuff that we were talking about, see, a lot of you clowns like you Boule Martin, the Boule Buffet Master Martins, and the rest of them, talking about, need black media this, talking about you calling us out. Everything that we said is happening is happening. You can't say it is not. See, it's one thing for you to dispute us. You can't dispute what the people see right in front of them. And see, unlike you, the things that we see happening to our people because we're of our people, we're going to speak for our people with these platforms, okay? We're going to speak for our people. You can't change what everybody has been seeing just because you don't talk about it. You can't gatekeep anymore. This is why we tell you your time is up, man. And they finna be done with y'all Democrat shields in a minute. But see, we looking back to see all the things that were said. And you know, hey, some of you that's listening to this, you tell me if you think that America as a country, never mind just Black America for a minute, if you think America as a country is better off than it was in 2020, well, you might not feel the same by the time the end of this broadcast. Let's let it continue.
To talk about this, Simone Sanders, senior advisor to the Joe Biden presidential campaign. Simone, hello to you.
Hello, Victor. How are you?
Very well, thank you. First, obvious question. You were the 2016 national spokesperson for the Bernie Sanders campaign. Why are you now on Team Biden?
Well, look, I think Vice President Biden is going to show everyone today exactly why I decided to join the campaign. Look, we are in a fight for the soul of this nation. And I believe that this is a pivotal point, just not in American history, but in the world history. We have to make a decision about who it is that we want to be, where it is we're going to go. And I believe that Vice President Biden has the right vision to take us there. So I'm very excited to be on Team Biden. I'm excited to be here in Philadelphia, Victor. Okay, we are kicking off officially our campaign today. And I really think what you're going to hear from the vice president is a bookend on these themes that you've been hearing from us since he first announced that he is running.
All right. I don't have much time with you, and I wanted to get that out of the way because I'm sure the viewers have that obvious question. But let me talk about the vice president here. And we heard from Senator Harris in that piece from Arlette about her refuting a claim that the vice president made this week that the 1994 crime bill that he wrote did not contribute to mass incarceration. I want you to listen to former President Bill Clinton. This is President Clinton, who signed that into law in 2015.
I signed a bill that made the problem worse. And I want to admit it. In that bill, there were longer sentences. And most of these people are in prison under state law, but the federal law set a trend. And that was overdone. We were wrong about that.
President Clinton says that they were wrong about that. Senator Harris has.
Now, let me take the time to actually bring people up to speed, because those of us that are older, we understand these things. We know what happened when that 94 crime bill hit and devastated our communities. Okay, and again, before anybody says, you must be for crime. Ain't nobody for crime, but I'm not for our people being unjustly prosecuted in unfair rates. Because, see, what happened with that was, you don't know, basically the gist of the 94 crime bill was the federal government incentivized the state to accept the laws and the sentencing of that 94 crime bill in order to get extra funding. And that's exactly what happened, and the rest is history. The 100-to-1 sentencing, okay, when you had them giving the harshest sentences to people that were hooked on crack at the time, and we all know that that was in our community because it's way less cheaper. It's much cheaper than cocaine with the drug of choice for a lot of white people. They didn't hit them with the same sentencing, okay? They didn't. In fact, today you look at their so-called health crisis, the opioid crisis, they're not mass incarcerating white folks. And see, Republicans and Trump, see, y'all better tighten up on this message and start talking to the black grassroots out here if you really want to get black support. I'm just going to tell you what you need to do. It's up to them whether they listen to the advice or not. One of the things that I would be doing if I was somebody that worked as a campaign strategist for him, and I'm not, because a lot of he probably a campaign strategist for Trump. I would be saying, look, what you need to do is keep every chance you get. You need to be highlighting, hey, Joe Biden, he enacted the 94 crime bill, and no Democrat has done anything to undo that. I did the First Step Act. That actually got black people out of prison. I would be hammering that to every, look, instead of them sneakers, put them damn goofy ass shoes down. Start talking about the facts. That's what you need to do. Start talking about the fact that you didn't enact any specific policies to harm black people. That's what you should do. I'm just saying, they can take it or leave it, man. I'm just talking business. I'm not talking about like, don't like. We're talking about facts, okay? Because, see, this big boulder show the hell for here 4 years ago, she ain't going to address none of this. And if you don't believe me, listen to how she answers this brother right here on this question. Let's let it continue.
Said that it contributed to mass incarceration. Why isn't Vice President Biden admitting what we're hearing from the former president?
Well, look, I think we can go back to Vice President Biden's comments at the National Action Network breakfast in January, where he noted that the crime bill, by way of this disparity between crack and powder cocaine, trapped an entire generation of people. Look, I think many people will tell you across the country, Victor, black folks included, that the crime bill and the reaction to what was happening in the early 90s. Now, look, I was only about 3 or 4, but I'm a student of history. What was happening in the early 90s, the reaction was an overcorrection to a very real issue. But we are going to see some policy rollouts from our campaign very soon, Victor. I know folks have questions about what is Vice President Biden's criminal justice policy.
Is it now
and those are going to come.
Now,
but I mean,
the campaign's position that the crime bill did contribute to mass incarceration?
Victor, I think the vice president, his comments speak for themselves. What is very clear is
his comment was that it does not contribute to mass incarceration. The former president who signed it said it did.
Look, Victor, if we play the whole clip, what he also said was that the majority of folks that are incarcerated were incarcerated at the state level.
And there's a reason for that. Let me put up the truth in sentencing incentives here.
And I mean, there is a reason for that.
But there's a reason. Let me put it up. Let me put it up on the screen, guys. The truth in sentencing section of the 1994 crime bill. This is page 21. It incentivized. It offered billions of dollars to build new correctional facilities if states would increase the percentage of convicted violent offenders, increase the average prison time, increase the percentage of the sentence was there. Did this bill not incentivize putting more people in jail? And
you see this, family? This brother hit her with nothing but facts right then. And see, notice how these Democrat shills, when people start trying to talk to you like that, you shut them down. Like, listen, I asked you a direct question. I don't need you to go all around the world in 80 days. I asked you a direct question. I want a direct answer. Especially when they start saying things twice. What he had said was, no. I asked you a question. Now, if you're not going to answer my question, get out of my face. You're not going to waste my time, which I've taught you over here, that time is the most precious, non-renewable resource that any of us have. You see this kind of garbage, family? See, this was 4 years ago now, because this matters. Context matters. You know, they always run around context, right? Your Tiffany Crosses, your Boule Bird Martins, all the rest of y'all talking to black people like we don't have any sense. Oh, we got a lot more sense than you think. We got sense enough to look at where we were then and where we are now. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Those days of you doing the gatekeeping is over, I'm telling you. But see, don't take my word for it. Listen to the rest of this exchange that was had 4 years ago. Because, see, we need to remind you of who these people are. Let's let it continue.
Keeping them there longer.
Victor, I am not going to sit here and tell you the crime bill was perfect. There was some really great preventative things that it did. It took on the NRA, and then there was an overcorrection. What you're describing was an overcorrection. There was a reach. Some folks went too far. The bill wasn't perfect. Republicans fought to put a lot of things in that bill. Democrats fought to get a lot of things out of the bill. But at the end of the day, Victor,
did you see that she just tried to pull right there? See, this is why we don't respect these bootlicking, no good, low life shills in either the liberal or conservative party. Y'all caught that? You know what? Hold on. Let me take that back. I want y'all to hear this. Take it back. I want y'all to listen to what she just said because a lot of people didn't catch that. I'm gonna play it again, then I'm gonna say what I need to say.
Incentivize putting more people in jail and keeping them there longer.
Victor, I am not going to sit here and tell you the crime bill was perfect. There was some really great preventative things that it did. It took on the NRA, and then there was an overcorrection. What you're describing was an overcorrection. There was a reach. Some folks went too far. The bill wasn't perfect. Republicans fought to put a lot of things in that bill. Democrats fought to get a lot of things out of the bill. But
did you hear that? This helps. See, look, I don't know about y'all, but the one thing you want to do if you want to piss me off, lie to my face and I know you lying. You want to piss me off, lie to my face and I know you lying. You gonna sit here, the author of the damn bill was a Democrat who bragged that his name has been on every crime bill since 1976. This is Joe Biden's word. You can go pull that up. It's right here on this channel. You gonna say that the Democrats fought to take the stuff out the bill that they were for and had a hand in creating, and Republicans fought to put stuff in the bill. Everything's the Republicans' fault. See, this not gonna get you nowhere, Democrats or Republicans. This lying to Black America like we don't have sense enough to remember what happened and go back and do research on things. See, you better understand that over here in these new black media spaces, the young people are listening to us because, see, they're like, okay, they're listening to, look, let me go here. Let me explain something to the Boule Martins and the Big Back Sanders and the Jackass Johnsons, JJ Dynamite. Let me explain something to y'all. Just because I say something, they don't take my word for it, and I don't expect them to. I don't want you to just take my word. I want you to do is look up everything that you hear me saying. I want you to do look up the information that I put in the chat room when I put things in there. You go and research these things for yourself, and then you get back to me and say, you know what, brother? I see what you're talking about. That's what we do over here. We don't just piss in people's face and tell them it's yellow rain like this help is doing right here. The nerve of these people, man. But this is what some of these people wanted to vote for, though. Let's let it continue.
At the end of the day, Victor, at the end of the day, no one is suggesting that what has happened, what has ravaged communities over the last 27 years does not need to be fixed. No one is suggesting that there is not a real issue, there's not a real problem or a real issue. And I'm here to tell you that Vice President Biden will roll out, you'll see a criminal justice policy soon. We are going to continue to have this conversation.
Where that criminal justice policy are, Helfer? This was 2020 that you said this. It's 4 years later now. Where's his equivalent of the First Step Back? Is he continuing that? I hadn't seen it. Somebody tell me. Did I miss something? Did we miss something, family? In the last 4 years, did we miss it? It's an overcorrection and overcorrection. And see, that's another thing. Let me teach y'all something about this. But for my young people, I know everybody's older, my age and older here caught this. For my young black listeners, let me tell you something. When you hear them repeating a term over and over again, you know, equity, racial equity, overcorrection, stuff like she's doing right here. That's what they've given them in a script to just say over and over again. And then when you say, okay, let's talk about that, explain it. What they'll do, they'll pull a Bethany Mandel. You know that little heifer that when that sister Brianna Joy Gray asked her to define the word woke and she couldn't do it and she wrote a book about it. Oh, that was hilarious, man, boy. I you know what? I'm gonna do something real petty with that soon. I'm gonna do something real petty with that. I'm just letting y'all know ahead of time. So if you see it, but see, listen, man, when you ask them to explain what that means, they start tripping over themselves because they literally just hand it and say, just say this to them over and over. Because this is how stupid they think they are. So when you're intelligent enough to call them on these things, say, hey, wait a minute, this isn't what happened. I'm looking at the record right here. You didn't do anything about this. You lied. Yeah. See, your worst nightmare are going to be young Black America in particular, because they're living in an age right now that is so unfair to them, where they got to make 3 times the rent to be able to just get an apartment. A lot of them still having to stay with their parents. They're not playing with y'all. Oh, man, you think them just saying get the bag is something cute? Oh, they're going to show you better than they can tell you. That's why I'm telling you, young Black folks, I understand. Listen to me. Get registered to vote, even if you choose the couch, because I'm going to say it again. That will show them that, hey, this is a vote you could have had if you would have played ball. Yeah, you have more power than you think you do as a young Black person if you're voting age in this country. Yes, you do. Don't you let nobody tell you that you don't make a difference. See, Boule Martin and the rest don't want to tell you that you don't matter, because they know that fossil generation that's just voting blue no matter who, they dying out every 2 years. They going on to what the good Lord called them to, wherever he called them, upstairs or downstairs, either one, whichever one you believe in. They're leaving here. You, young Black man and young Black woman, are the future of this country. That's why they're fighting to make sure that they can able to hit your mind with a bunch of propaganda so that you don't understand your true power. But see, one thing that's working against them, this economy. Like it's always been said, it's the economy, stupid. These young Black people are not trying to hear that foolishness. You're going to have to provide some tangibles for them, or else you get nothing from them. Let's let it continue.
About the crime bill throughout the campaign trail, but we're also going to put forward some policies, Victor. So just wait and see. Give us a minute. Wait and see.
We will look forward to those. Simone Sanders, thanks so much.
Well, we're in forward now, because that was 2020, ladies and gentlemen. We're forward now. Oh, we are forward. Yes, we are forward. And this is what we're looking at, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? We're forward. We're in forward. We are 2024 forward. 4 years later, after you just heard Big Back up there doing the same shilling that she was doing on the previous clip before I showed you what she said 4 years ago. See, this is what we are. Jim Crow Joe, old cornrow Jim Crow Joe, in his little Newport outfit with a cigarette on the corner with his #1 bottom trick, Commandment Sanders. This is where we at. Yeah, these are the games they want to play with people. But see, you know what? They playing them kinds of games, but other people are not playing with them. Oh, other people are not playing with them, because see, if you think that what I had to say was something that really is going to have them upset when they start hearing this, because the Shills are going to be pissed off at this broadcast. I told you, this is your last stand. It's over with for you. I got something I want you to listen to, okay? Because, see, we remember everything. We're going to go and take another trip down memory lane here. I want y'all to play this, because we going to keep putting this in your faces. Y'all did this to yourselves, okay? This is why people are going to vote couch, or some people are going to vote the orange man. I want y'all to listen to this.
If we cannot make significant progress on racial equity, this country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
Yeah, y'all remember that, don't you? This country is doomed, and not just because of African Americans. This country gonna be minority white by 2040. You hear me? Y'all gonna have to start working more with Hispanics, make a larger portion of the population than y'all do, which is a lie. That's not true. Okay? See, when you make up things like that, when you make statements like that, you think we're gonna let that go? To get your booty to the polls and all this other disrespectful stuff that both parties have done towards us. You think we're gonna let any of that go? We're not. Especially the young people listening to the sound of my voice. We're not letting that go. No, you got to be taxed for your disrespect. And the longer that you wait, the higher the tab is gonna be. Okay? Jim Crow Joe, Newport Cornrow, Jim Crow Joe, whatever you want to call him. Yeah. Uncle Joe has devastated this country. This man don't know whether he coming or going. And speaking of another coming or going over there on the Republican side of the game, I don't know if y'all saw the article. If you follow me on X, I posted it. Mitch McConnell is stepping down. You know, Mitch the Glitch. See, our ancestors are not playing with y'all. Y'all remember Mitch the Glitch when he had the live on air glitch? Boy, let me tell you something. The ancestors, boy, like our good brother Tariq said, the Mojara is finna hit y'all, boy. Mojara, it can be positive, and the Mojara can hit you to punish you too when you commit injustice. Oh yeah, you finna get hit with some Mojara, all right? Oh yes, you are. Y'all gonna learn about playing with God's children. You really are gonna learn. But see, I'm not done yet, because see, I want y'all to listen to this, because I took this excerpt and put this in here because this brother is always spot on. Okay, I consider him one of our living grandmaster teachers, even though he's a person that's very humble. I want y'all to listen to this and then tell me if you disagree with anything. Because see, I told you, this is the Democrat Shill's last stand. This is it. You're not going to be able to do business as usual. Nobody's playing games with you in Black America. These people in my chat room right now, they got real issues to take care of, okay? They got real concerns about the direction that this country is headed. They are not sitting here talking about, well, we'll get to you. I see you. I hear you. That's not going to work anymore. Nobody's playing those kinds of games. Family, I want y'all to listen to what's coming up next here. You tell me if you agree or disagree with any of this.
Remember, though, how Joe Biden made a bunch of phony promises 4 years ago? He promised a lift every voice plan, whatever the hell that was. But after he won the presidency, he never mentioned it again. He promised a White House-level police accountability commission. But as soon as he was announced the winner of the 2020 election, he immediately said that he changed his mind because he suddenly realized he just didn't have time for a White House-level police accountability commission. He only realized that after he won the presidency. He also promised a George Floyd Policing Act. He promised a John Lewis Voting Rights Act. Whatever became of any of that? Now, sure, most of these empty gestures weren't even substantive, but they were specifically promises that he made to Black voters in exchange for our votes. But even these empty do-nothing gestures were simply too much for Biden to do. He only proposed these gestures because he could see Black voters were going to stay home in 2020, just like we had in 2016. He had to pretend to be serious about policies meant for us. So Black voters gave him a chance, and no sooner than they called the results in his favor, Biden was already backtracking on all of it. He hadn't even taken office yet, and he was already saying he wasn't going to do any of the stuff he promised. He was determined not to set a precedent where Black people are actually going to get something for their vote. That's what this was about. So we have done our homework, Mammy Sanders. You're the one who needs to do your research, or rather you need to stop ignoring the information that you know to be true. The B1 has more receipts than a CPA. We know Biden's record when it comes to not doing anything for Black voters, and you know it too. And if you think talking about the HBCUs is going to impress us, it won't. There was a time when the HBCUs actually used to be about something. They used to be genuine, authentic cathedrals of learning. But now they've devolved into nothing more than party schools, pseudo-academic whorehouses that produce trash like Roly-Poly Martin, Kamala Harris, and Simone Sanders. But getting back to Jackass Johnson, you notice how when he was taking aim at voters, he was not talking about Black baby boomers. The baby boomers are dying out, which means that they are a decreasing share of the voters. And Gen X is in their 50s and 40s, as are many millennials. They're entering their 40s. So this is who Jason Johnson is targeting and saying this is who should be ignored. Because the Gen Xers and the millennials and increasingly Gen Z are the ones making demands, putting pressure on these Democrats for changes that will overturn the racial hierarchy. And they're sending out their black bootlick contingent who they pay to say, don't listen to black people. They're irrelevant. Just focus on everyone else. And this little scumbag said that from his chest. Oh, he was bold about it. He was bold. He was absolutely patted. Look how big his bug eyes became talking about ignoring black voters. Jason Johnson is a self-hating sellout. But then again, as we've informed you in the past here in the black media, it runs in Jason Johnson's family. Of course he's an agent. His mother is a certified agent. She's worked with the police and even the feds. So treason runs in his family. It's in their blood. He's a smiling, tap-dancing, bootlicking sellout. This is why the white media puts this idiot on, because he's a certified self-hating clown. Have you ever seen Andrew Yang or any Hispanic politician or commentator saying that Democrats need to focus on black voters? They don't say that at all. Jason Johnson is himself supposed to be a black man, albeit a lousy excuse for one. He's on air literally campaigning against himself, saying, oh, we don't need to be focusing on no black men. Don't worry about black men. Their minds are already made up. It's all about these Asian voters now. It's about these Hispanic voters now. You need to be thinking about that instead. Now, why is he so enthused and so passionate and so bold about saying that the Democrats need to ignore voters who look like him? This has never happened before, ever. Look, these so-called news shows are scripted as hell. The people you see on these panels, they get notes on what to say. You can see them looking down at the notes in front of them while they're talking. So they're not giving an opinion on anything because they don't have an opinion. They have talking points given to them by the producers of these shows, and they read it on air and try not to sound too much like it's coming off a teleprompter or was handed to them an hour before they went on air. And don't kid yourself. This was not some sort of coincidence that they went from saying Trump's trying to depress the black vote to then immediately saying black men's votes are irrelevant. And Jason Johnson's pivot was so clumsy, so awkward, it was excruciatingly obvious what he was doing and why. Talk about the wrong tool for the wrong job. You would never see Joe Biden saying to ignore white male voters. Dang sure wouldn't see Trump saying that. You wouldn't have Chuck Schumer saying it either. You would not have them saying to ignore white voters of any description, and you would never see Rashida Tlaib or Mehdi Hassan or Andrew Yang or any other non-white media figure or politician saying that if Biden loses, the blame can't fall squarely on the shoulders of their ethnic group or their constituency. They would be saying exactly the opposite. They would say Biden ignored us and you lost the election. Now you got to give in to our demands. They would be playing on that. Of course, it's not true. Outside of a few towns in California and Washington state, the Asian vote is not decisive to any elections, not even at the statewide level in most of America. And the same goes for Hispanics, a few places in Texas and California, maybe Florida. But outside of that, no. Only the black vote is competitive nationwide, and Asian and Hispanics tend to trend for Republicans. So why ignore the very constituency who is the most consistent to vote for the Democrats and instead waste time and effort for constituencies who don't vote Democrat and are not inclined to? Why do that? It would be far easier and faster to focus on the black vote, the ones who put Biden in office, and to try to drive up black voter turnout. It's a no-brainer. So why is Jason Johnson telling Democrats to ignore a sure thing and go chase political red herrings? Because of the black voters, specifically those 35-year-olds to the early 50-somethings who are talking about reparations. See, with those other groups, white supremacy can play along with their demands, even though it won't help them get into office or stay there, because these other groups' demands don't threaten white supremacy. Their demands don't threaten the racial hierarchy. So it costs the Democrats nothing to do things for groups who didn't vote for them, so long as they're not black. The problem isn't black voters staying home. It's that black voters have now made it a point to attach our vote to a specific political demand, one that benefits us. Have you ever seen any feminist Democrat activists say to ignore white women because they've already made up their minds, even though they have? No, for every other group, it's all about how do Democrats appeal to them. Doesn't matter their voting habits. This is the first time you've ever seen some empty-headed Democrat pundit saying to openly ignore black voters, but it won't be the last time you see it. I've been telling you for years this has been the Democrats' plan all along. For the Democrats to reach out to non-black voters, to immigrants, casual, racist, read white moderates, anyone but black voters. Because as we've coalesced around tangibles specifically for ourselves, we have now become the biggest threat to the Democrats, because we're making demands that will require power to change hands. The Democrats are controlled opposition, always have been. Their job is not to defeat Republicans because they both work for the same wealthy white paymasters. The Democrats' job is to get you and me to sit on our hands while they tell us how they're going to do things for us. All the while they turn right around and do absolutely nothing. This is why I remind you of all the lies and broken promises that Biden has made. And he's not the only one. But notice how nobody's talking about how he didn't fulfill all of those lofty promises that he made years ago. They never point that out. They act as if, oh, he did all these great things, knowing dang well they're lying. You can tell the DNC put those words in Jason Johnson's mouth to say, just like Simone Sanders. Simone Sanders has worked for not one but two Democratic presidential candidates. And she worked in the Biden White House. So what the hell do you expect her to say? And Jason Johnson, that dude's been licking the DNC's boots and other areas so long, I'll bet you his tongue needs toilet paper at this point. They use front Negroes like Johnson to be the first ones to make these attacks on the black community. And then afterwards, after the ice is broken, they send in the white racists on the left to continue the attack and really go in on us. We saw this with the whole woke thing. Obama was actually the first major figure to attack wokeness. And then right afterwards, you had nigga Jim Clyburn attacking calls to defund the police. Stop sloganizing! Stop sloganizing! And then the Cajun Skeletor, James Carville, pulled up the rear, attacking wokeness and defunding the police, etc. They only made sure to attack things that black people were demanding. Only the things that black people were advocating, which is exactly what the Republicans do, like Ron DeSantis and others. If it's something that black people are advocating for or something pertaining to black people, that's what they attack, and everybody understands exactly why they're doing it. This is the purpose that these black shills like Jason Johnson and Simone Sanders serve for white supremacy. They're the ones who white power sends out first to push some line of anti-black policy, and then they send in the white figures after them to really go in on us. That's how it always works. That's the pattern. This is what I and others in the black media have been telling you was going to happen. That the white media would start a barrage of phony stories and propaganda, all of it to say that if Biden loses, it's because of these other non-black groups. They weren't being catered to. Oh, what about the Arab vote? Well, it doesn't matter that there's not enough of them to actually turn the election. The point is, if Biden loses, it's going to be because of them. And that's what the white media is doing right now. They're talking about Michigan and saying that whole non-committal thing that Rashida Tlaib was saying to vote for. They're talking about that. And now we got Jason Johnson saying well, it's going to be about the Asians and the Hispanics. So if Biden wins, they'll be able to pivot and say that, well, it was because these other groups came to Biden's rescue. If he loses, it's because he displeased these other groups. But it's all about, well, we can't talk about black people anymore. We got to find a way to just say that black people are irrelevant to the election cycles now. And they did this right after they just got through saying that black votes were the ones that Donald Trump was trying to suppress. That Donald Trump wants black voters to be apathetic or stay home or what have you. They're sitting here talking out of both sides of their mouths, but then again, white supremacy believes in taking both sides of the conversation. Thank you very much, Neely Fuller. Now, you see what Andrew Yang did in 2020, he tried to claim that it was Asian voters who handed Georgia to the Democrats. That's a lie. Black voters in Atlanta were the ones who handed the Democrats the presidency through Georgia and also control of the Senate through Georgia. And in Michigan, nobody cares what Rashida Tlaib has to say outside of Dearborn. The Arab vote is politically irrelevant outside of Dearborn. Sure, Rashida Tlaib can run her mouth a lot and get some white media attention, but even Mehdi Hasan, as I pointed out in the Sunday address, he talked with Democrat strategists and campaign aides for Biden, and they told him that they think they can win Michigan even without Arab voters. Go back and watch the Sunday address. Watch Mehdi Hasan say those words. And you'll notice that afterwards, he didn't even attempt to say that, well, actually, you can't win without the Arab vote. He didn't say anything at all. So Jason Johnson is firing what's supposed to be the first salvo of an anti-black propaganda carpet bombing campaign. What he's saying is what I've been telling you the Democrats have been trying to do for years now, to cobble together some Frankenstein monster of a voting constituency comprised solely of non-black voters. This is not about reaching out to more voters. This is about trying to make the black vote as irrelevant as possible, to neutralize the threat that all of these black voters' demands are posing. This is about maintaining the status quo. Now that a critical mass of black voters are on code for tangibles, the Democrats are panicking. And I've been telling you this has been coming for a while now, and here they are doing it, and you see the clowns who they're trotting out to sell the soap. And don't let his singling out black men fool you, by the way, for the Shea Butter Twitter crowd. The reason that he said black men is because black men have been the driving force behind this political sea change in the black community. But this is him trying to do his low-key, lame-brain idea of gender war and going to drive that gender divide. He knows that a large and growing number of black women are already on code, and more joining us every day. Jason Johnson thinks he's being slick by attacking the bearers of the message as opposed to the ones who have actually taken up the message. And if that's still not good enough for you, you notice how Jason Johnson didn't say a word about black women while he was busy saying that the black male vote was irrelevant and didn't matter. He didn't say anything about black female voters, now did he? If black men are the ones who need to be ignored, why didn't he spare even a word about the political power of black women, or about what the Democrats need to be doing for black women? Need to be reaching out to black women. He didn't say that at all, because his DNC paymasters gave him the talking points. And it's fully understood that when he says black men, that's nothing more than a clumsy euphemism for black people. I mean, the damned insult that these scumbags would try this. You have a table full of morons who are hearing somebody say that half of black voters should be ignored, and none of them points out that that's political suicide. The closest thing to pushback that you had was Mamie Sanders giving a lone, pathetic, "I don't think so." And then after that saying, "Oh, you're gonna be lit up on the internet." Jason Johnson's so freaking desperate for somebody to pay attention to him, he'll say anything. I expect for him next to slather himself in peanut butter and jump off the Eiffel Tower if he thought that would get some clicks. He'll get attention, but not the way he would have liked. But this is supposed to be what counts as some sort of conscientious and objective commentary. Give me a break. That's because MSNBC is actually MSDNC. This is, of course, not news to anyone. Of course, MSNBC is the official broadcast mouthpiece for the Democratic Party leadership, just like Fox News is the official mouthpiece for the Republican Party leadership. The reason Jason Johnson's saying this nonsense and nobody pushed back on it is because this is their message, to push this line. Their job is to get their talking points and read from the script. And our job is to ignore the noise and stay on code.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, from the professor himself, Professor Black Truth. You are doing yourself a great disservice if you are not subscribed to that brother's channel. Let me tell you something. The only thing that I can say and add to that is that for those, like he said, that are ignoring where black women, foundational black American freedmen women, are standing on these particular issues in our country right now, you better look up and pay attention to how many sisters are going to voice their concerns at these different city council meetings, particularly in the cities where these migrant crisis is affecting the hardest right now. A lot of sisters, and man, look, y'all have seen it. We've covered it several times here and on many other people's platforms. Oh, that's the average black American woman's mindset right now. That's not, bootlicking for these Democrats. They're looking at policy, numbers, and even some of those sisters that might have supported the Democrats at one time, they see how this particular issue here with those migrants, illegal aliens, are affecting their communities right now. The ones that are committing the crimes, some of them, unfortunately, have been victims of these crimes. You think you're going to trick them out of trying to do whatever they feel they need to do, whether it's the couch or vote the other side to take care of that issue? You got another thing coming. Family, I brought this broadcast here to you tonight so that you can look at all the information for yourself, because those of us that are on code, we understand that we got serious business to take care of over here in Black America. We don't have time to pay attention to gossip, celebrity, or commonplace. We don't have time to pay attention to goofy distractions, sneakers, people coming to eat chicken. No, we are all about our tangibles. We are all about what you're going to trade in exchange for the black vote, because it's a business transaction. And just like we won't work for free, we're not going to vote for free. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up the broadcast here tonight. Y'all digest this information. I hope that all of you will walk in an empowered spirit. And remember, the only way that anybody gets anything from us from now on, they're going to have to earn it. But that said, salute to you, Black First, and I will see you all in future content.
This is the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, and we still have a lot of discrepancies as far as the origins of hip-hop, a lot of claims, who did what, who was the first this, who was the this and that, such and such. But at the end of the day, we need a definitive story, all right? And that story can only be told by the founders of this culture.
Like everything was being driven and influenced by young, Black, American culture, like the slang, the style of dress, the initial music that we chose.
Look at all the boroughs. You got, Money Making Manhattan and Money Earning Mount Vernon and Crooklyn. The Bronx was the boogie down Bronx. We was partying up there.
I am Coke LaRock, the first MC of hip hop.
first cat to pick the mic up?
I introduced rapping to the turntable because when I came with it, nobody in the world was doing it. I'm right after Rudy Ray Moore.
They want to come in the mix, they want to say, we started. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. What came to be known as hip hop was solely an African-American creation.
What would you get out of some Jamaican toast? What is that? I've never heard of a rapper use a Jamaican toast or a Jamaican fleur as a rhyme. I'd never heard of it, and I don't know where that myth came from.
My name is legendary King Trixie from the Bronx, BX from the West Side. I am the first breakdancer.
And that narrative that hip-hop has had 3 founding fathers, that's been rolling for the last almost 30 years, which isn't true. You don't have just 3 people who created hip-hop. Hip-hop was created by a number of different people.
I am the grandfather, the godfather of the graffiti culture. I am the first element of hip-hop.
The roots of hip-hop being Jamaican, absolutely false.
My name is MC Sha-Rock. I am a founding member of the MC/rap culture.
Cassette tapes was the internet of our time. It just traveled around by hand.
Well, I know for a fact that the B-Boy stand started from the guards, the 5 percenters that would be at the jams back in the days who were acting as security.
If they get the real truth of how it all was created, then so many lies would not be able to be in existence.
So when we talk about hip hop and what it is, it's an extension of the music and the instrumentation that our forefathers created.
Check out the live stream premiere of the documentary short, It's Bigger Than Hip Hop, The Black American Family Tree, and Q&A, a fundraiser to create a series detailing music's evolution. Go to DewanB.com for streaming passes and crowdfunding.